What's going on, everyone? Today I've got an absolute banger of a tactic here for you guys. Today we're going over my ultimate 4-3-3 that I tested with Liverpool. There are some influences on how Liverpool plays within this 4-3-3, but it is how I like to play with a 4-3-3 as well. So a little bit of a mix of both. But if you guys happen to enjoy today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So here is the tactic. It is Gormy's Ultimate 4-3-3. That is what the file will be called in the download section of my Discord, which is where you guys will be able to download the tactic from. There will be a link down in the description to take you to my Discord. And once again, that is where you can download the tactic. But this tactic features an advanced forward on attack up top, two inverted wingers on attack out wide, an advanced playmaker on attack next to a central midfielder on support, a halfback on defend, a wingback on support on the left side, inverted wingback on attack on the right side, two central defenders on defend, and a sweeper keeper on support. On the advanced forward on attack, although we have a shoot more often and tackle harder. Both inverted wingers on attack have crosses aimed at center, shoot more often, and tackle harder. The advanced playmaker on attack has crosses aimed at the far post and tackle harder. The central midfielder on support has crosses aimed at the far post, shoot more often, move into channels, and tackle harder. Halfback on defend has tackle harder. The wingback on support has crosses aimed at center and tackle harder. The inverted wingback on attack has tackle harder. Both central defenders on defend stay wider and tackle harder, and sweep keeper on support is left as is. This tactic is played with a positive mentality. It can also be played with an attacking or balanced mentality, whatever kind of fits your team's need. If you need to nick a goal late, go attacking or positive. If you're a side that isn't the upper echelons of like a Liverpool, a Man City, a Real Madrid, but you're still able to implement an inverted wingback, definitely feel free to go balanced. But all in all, you can't go wrong with those three mentalities with this tactic. So when we are in possession, we have fairly wide attacking width, overlap on the left, underlap on the right, play out from the defense, work the ball into the box using low crosses, slightly higher tempo, slightly shorter passing directness. When in transition, we counter press and counter, distribute quickly to the fullbacks and center backs, aka distribute to the defense. When we are out of possession, we have a high press line of engagement, standard defensive line, much more often trigger press, and we trap to the outside. So now let's get into the nitty gritty stuff and really break this tactic down. So here we have the 4-3-3 in front of us. This is how the side was set up throughout all of testing. There were 3 different tests done. We'll go over some of the stats from those 3 tests here momentarily. So the first thing I want to go over is actually 2 things put into one. It is how Wataru Endo plays and Trent Alexander-Arnold as the inverted wingback. So you would notice that the central defenders, I instruct them to stay wider when we have the ball. So when we have the ball, Virgil van Dijk's going to be over here. Kanate is going to be here. Being that Wataru Endo is the halfback, he is going to slide down, and it's going to be like playing a back 3, essentially. Now, being that Trent Alexander-Arnold is an inverted wingback, he's going to slot in here. Although, with how McAllister plays with that central midfielder on support where he can move in channels, and he doesn't really have any restrictions on him. He can roam if he wants to. Sometimes Alexis will be here and Trent will be here, or vice versa, as you already saw. But majority of the time, Trent is going to be playing here, trying to distribute the ball to the wings, to Dominic, to Alexis, or even just straight up to Darwin Nunez. Now, another thing is we provide width with Andy Robertson to allow Luis Diaz to cut inside. So Andy's going to be here. Luis Diaz, that allows him to be able to cut in. Darwin Nunez up here. Mo Salah also cutting in. So 4 attacking threats right there already. And being that Alexander-Arnold is an inverted wingback on attack, he's going to feel free to go up towards the attacking final third, not really into the final third, but at least on the outer areas of the box. Now, Szoboszlai is an advanced playmaker on attack, so he's going to get around this area as well, which once again allows Luis Diaz to push even further forward. And Alexis McAllister, same thing here. He's going to be up here more so as a playmaker, kind of like Dominic Szoboszlai, kind of like Trent. But even though Szoboszlai, it's in the name, advanced playmaker, he is going to be able to be a big-time goal threat still. And obviously, when we're set up like this, Van Dijk's going to be coming up, Endo's going to be coming up, Kanate's going to be coming up, and Allison will also come up as well. Now, one thing that I really want to highlight is a lot of people have asked me with my previous tactics, why do you have crosses aimed at the far post? The reason why I have crosses aimed at the far post instead of everything centrally, yes, Darwin Nunez is a kind of taller striker, but he's not like Erling Haaland, where if we were doing this with Man City and it was kind of a tactic geared towards how they play, all the crosses would be going centrally because he's an absolute giant of a striker and you obviously want to get the ball to him. Now, being that we have players like Luis Diaz and Mo Salah, Alexis McAllister will also get up here. Szoboszlai can also get up here. We want the crosses going to the far post. Andy Robertson's going to be swinging it in centrally, so it can get to any of these three when they're here in the box. Szoboszlai, though, with his crosses going to the far post, if Nunez is at the far post, perfect. McAllister at far post, perfect. Salah, perfect. Now, obviously, they won't be like that in a jumbled mess, but it allows for some big-time creativity and some big-time assist numbers, which we'll get to in a moment. Now, another thing that I would like to bring up is the inverted winger role. I really, really like the inverted winger role, whether it be on support or attack. They are very, very good. The inside forward, also very good. But I'm going to use two players as an example here. So, an inside forward is more like a Ronaldo, a striker type player that cuts in from being out wide. Someone that is a big-time goal-scoring threat. Obviously, Ronaldo still had the playmaking ability, but he was mainly a major goal-scoring threat, especially while at Real Madrid. Now, Mo Salah is more so that inverted winger. He can score goals, but he can also set players up. In one of the tests, he had a 29 goal, 29 assist a season. So that is absolutely fantastic, and that just goes to show how inverted wingers are. They can do both, and they can do both really, really well. Whereas if you have a player like a Ronaldo that is a really good goal scorer, but they're mainly a winger, probably play them as an inside forward. Now, Luis Diaz is also a very good inside forward, but for this test and for this tactic, I wanted to play him as an inverted winger. Same with Mo Salah, and they both did absolutely fantastic. And one difference that you can definitely tell when you are watching inside forwards versus inverted wingers play is, say Diaz is the inside forward and they are on the attack. Diaz is going to get more so in here with Nunez, whereas Mo Salah is going to get more so here. So there's more of the winger aspect to the inverted winger, hence it being in the name. But Mo Salah, if he was a straight-up winger, he would usually stay out here, or if I had certain instructions for him to cut inside, he can obviously do so, which for us, with both of them being inverted wingers, it allows Salah to go here, Diaz here, Nunez there, and Andy Robertson supplies that width there, which, being that Mo Salah is a very, very smart player, and if you have very smart players, they're going to do incredible things for you. So if you have Szoboszlai up and McAllister up, say Endo's right about here, you got Diaz and Nunez in the box. Salah may notice, okay, we need a little bit of width, and being that he is a smart player, he will probably go a little bit wider, which, being that he's Mo Salah, can still probably score from there. So, with the inverted winger, lots of possibilities, lots of attacking prowess within them as well. And I highly suggest, if you have not used the inverted winger on attack or on support this year, you definitely give it a go. It might change how you view your tactic as a whole. Alright, so now that we have gone over that, let's go over some of the numbers that the players produced within the tactic, as well as the trophies that it brought in. So Liverpool in these three tests did very, very well. They ended up winning the Premier League on 2 different occasions. They won the Europa League once as well. They won the Carabao Cup twice. They were runners-up in the Europa League another time, as well as runner-up in the Carabao Cup another time as well. So they got to the Carabao Cup all 3 tests. They ended up finishing top 4 all 3 times, winning the league twice, and out of the 3 tests, they ended up going to the Europa League final twice, winning it once. So, you're all probably wondering, all right, how many goals did Darwin Nunez score? Because I ended up having him locked in as striker for all 3 tests. Well, in one test he scored 54, another was 44, and then in the last one it was 34. Yes, some pretty solid numbers, especially for Darwin Nunez, because he hasn't really hit the ground running yet at Liverpool. But very solid numbers in my opinion. Yes, that is a big drop off from one season having 54 and another 34. But that 34 goal season, they ended up doing a domestic double, and they also had a lot of spread out scoring. So that's pretty acceptable, and plus he still led the league in goals. So next up, we'll stick with the goal scorers. Mo Salah, how did he do being that inverted winger on attack? How did he do goal scoring wise, assist wise? Was he more of a contributor or more of a goal scoring threat? Well, in one season, he had 24 goals and 19 assists, so slightly more goals. Then he had 26 goals and 16 assists, 10 more goals than he had assists. And then in that other season was the one that I highlighted earlier. He had 29 goals and 29 assists. So big time performances out of him as an inverted winger, and that is kind of expected from him as he is one of the better players in the world. But Mr. Luis Diaz, how did he do? Well, in one season he had 15 goals and 17 assists. In another, 12 goals and 21 assists, so he's more of the playmaker there than Mo Salah is. And then he had 23 goals and 12 assists. So pretty balanced from him. He was more so a playmaker than a goal scoring threat. But if we were playing him as that inside forward on attack, which he is kind of better suited to doing that, he probably would have been putting up like 29 goals and 17 assists. But nonetheless, having that balance on that wing is exactly what we want. And thankfully from both of them, it's exactly what we got. Now we're going to get into three key playmakers here for us. What did Andy Robertson do? What did Trent Alexander-Arnold do? And what did Dominic Szoboszlai do? Well, throughout the three tests, Andy Robertson in total had 64 assists. He hit 20, 20, and 24. Trent actually only had a total of 29 assists, 10, 10, and 9, which is kind of acceptable because of all the playmaking ability from everyone in the side. And he was sitting a little bit deeper than, say, a Szoboszlai, a Salah, a Diaz. But then we get to Dominic Szoboszlai, and these are the numbers I really like because usually as an advanced playmaker on attack, you want them playing that number 10. If you're playing a 4-2-3-1, you really want your number 10 to play as an advanced playmaker on attack, and their assist numbers will be absolutely ludicrous sometimes. But thankfully for Dominic, he ended up going with 18, 15, and 13, which getting 46 assists in total throughout the three tests from a central midfielder is absolutely fantastic. And in total from those three throughout the three tests, they ended up all combining for 139 total assists, which that I could not ask for more from my side, with three players being able to produce a total of 139 assists over three different seasons. So now that we've gone over the numbers and what the trophy haul was like, let's see how it performs within the match engine. So as we can see from the match engine, this tactic is damn good and it plays beautiful football. And that's exactly what we want from all of our sides within FM. Play some beautiful football. What I really want to highlight there is in that Newcastle match, we won 3-0, but we were down to 10 men in the 18th minute and still managed to win 3-0. Also, in that Man United match, which was the last match that you guys saw, a lot of those goals came from set pieces. This isn't just a balling out tactic. The set pieces are pretty damn good too, and the set pieces will come attached to the tactic. Once again, if you want to download the tactic, there will be a link down below in the description to my Discord. That is where you can download the tactic from. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.